Again, let's get to politics now. I'll do a first political story, take a break, and come back and do the next political stories. My friend Mustapha Gbande has charged again. Mustapha Gbande appeared on a television interview with Onua TV, and he had a lot to say. He's very unhappy about the developments in the NDC, given the succession towards the leadership of the party to replace President John Dramani Mahama. You see, one thing I've observed in my political coverage over many years is that the things that we wish for often do not happen in politics. The things that will happen. And even though we all know that the things that will happen, we all wish that it won't happen. Let me give you a clear example. When we are going into Congress, we say that, oh, let us not fight among ourselves, let us unite, and then let us choose a leader. The process of choosing a leader, you see, it's one of the maladies of democracy. You have democracy, it's a good thing, but the processes of choosing in a democracy would always leave wounds. It will always leave bitterness. Whether we like it or not, it's a malady of democracy. If we don't want it and we create a system that is not democratic and that does not choose people in a democratic way, that system can last for a period, it will collapse. Last night, I was watching television. I do that very late in the night. And I was watching Russia. And I have a system where I can watch Russian television. This is a device that is sold around. I can tell you where I got it. So I was watching Russian television. There is a lot of concern about the future of Vladimir Putin because the Russian democracy does not permit too many elections and electing people in various sectors. So you will see that they have a semblance of stability. And that's what happens to all this military and oligarchy type of government. They have a semblance of stability, but it doesn't last. The democracy does not just have a semblance of stability, it has real stability. America has been doing it for 200 years. Even Ghana, we've now been doing it for nearly 40 years because of the principles and the processes. But those principles and processes have negatives. It's a malady. You have to elect people. You have to choose between Kwesi and Abena. You have to choose between Amma and Kwame. Once you have chosen Kwame, Amma says, you didn't choose me. You can't do anything about that. So Mustapha Gbande and some of the NDC are beginning to see the cracks. And they will complain about unity and it won't work. They will go to the fight. It is for this reason that since 1988, no political party in a presidential democracy has been able to change leader and win elections. So what am I saying? In 1988 in America, President Ronald Reagan had done 2 terms, having started in 1980. He was leaving power. His vice president, George Bush #1, I think they call him Bush 41. George Bush #1 was running for the ticket from the Republican Party as vice president, and he was elected in 1988, and he was defeated in 1992. Since 1988, in America, no one has changed government and won the election. So let me tell you how it happened. Bill Clinton became president in 1992. He was a successful president. By 2000, he was leaving. Bill Clinton was really successful. He had a vice president that everyone thought was actually better than Bill Clinton. In fact, today, if you go to the American libraries of political science, they will tell you that Vice President Al Gore is one of the best presidents that America never had. Everyone knew that Al Gore was a superstar. Al Gore was really going to take America higher than Clinton did. But Al Gore was defeated in the election by a narrow Supreme Court ruling, 5-4 decision of the Supreme Court over the Florida votes. And so Al Gore did not succeed Clinton, nothing to do with the economy. But it was the changing order. The Clinton people felt that Al Gore had carried out a campaign to endorse the fact that Bill Clinton had difficulties in the Monica Lewinsky issue. Al Gore refused to run on Clinton's record. And people like James Carville, who are unrepentant Clinton supporters, decided to withdraw from the Al Gore campaign. So the Democratic Party did not have the unity that they needed to kill that election. And George Bush slipped through and became president. George Bush was a successful president. 8 years after he was leaving, he brought in Senator McCain. There are not many Americans who are respected like Senator McCain. Senator McCain is an American military guy who went to war for America, lost one of his hands, something like that. He's a very powerful senator. Everyone was waiting for the day Senator McCain would be president, and everyone loved him. However, there was a changing of the guard. The George Bush people were changing to Senator McCain. McCain came in and chose a running mate and the lady that the George Bush people didn't quite like. It appears that they pulled away a little bit from the campaign. Senator McCain went to the campaign. He earned 49% of the votes, but the famous Barack Obama earned 51% of the votes. Barack Obama became America's president on the back of huge popularity. In fact, the American election that brought Barack Obama to power in 2008, if that election had been conducted worldwide, Obama would have won with a higher margin. Obama could pull the crowds in Germany. He pulled the crowds in Manchester. He pulled the crowds in Bordeaux, in France. He pulled the crowds in Paris, in Denmark. During his campaign as a Democratic nominee, Barack Obama was a phenomenon. Obama's government ended in 2016. And then came Hillary Clinton. There were many people who attributed Bill Clinton's success to Hillary Clinton. And therefore, Hillary Clinton, as Senator of New York as well. New York is a hotbed of the Democratic politics. It's almost impossible for a Republican to win the Senate seat in New York. The Democrats will always grab it, just like California. So Mrs. Clinton was a big candidate. When Donald Trump emerged, people were laughing at him and said that, how can you compare Donald Trump to Mrs. Clinton? What are you talking about? Everyone knew that it was a shoe-in for Hillary Clinton. People were cutting deals with her. Documents were signed. Everyone knew that the Republican candidate was a joke. But on November 4, 2016, against all odds, Donald Trump won the election. In fact, he won the election by losing 2 million of the popular votes. If you know what I mean, America has, tonight is not the time to explain that, but America has a popular vote and electoral votes. Electoral votes matter more than popular votes. Donald Trump was elected ahead of Clinton. So there's always a problem when you are shifting. Back in Ghana, Flight Lieutenant Rawlings conducted 8 years of very powerful government. Rawlings was power. Rawlings was AK-47. Rawlings was image. Rawlings was stability. Rawlings nominated his successor, Professor J.E. Mills. Mills was thought to be one of the cleanest politicians of all time. Clean guy. He had come from the University of Ghana. He was not corrupt. You can't take corruption on him. He's a nice guy. He's a soulful type of guy. He loves sports and all of that. In spite of all that and the heavy campaign that Rawlings did for him, Mills could not make it. John Agyekum Kufuor defeated him. Agyekum Kufuor had run one of the most successful governments in Ghana for 8 years. He had moved the economy from 4 billion to 16 billion. Agyekum Kufuor came in and Akufo-Addo came after him. Akufo-Addo was thought to be a more popular politician than Kufuor himself. Akufo-Addo was Attorney General and had distinguished himself as Ghana's foreign minister. He had made great friends with all the leaders across, Colonel Gaddafi. Everybody loved Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo came in and by 25,000, he lost the ballot when 10 million people were voting. So it's always very complicated when the president is not running and he's stepping away for another person. It's complicated. And whether the NDC like it or not, I'm not saying they will not win 2028 or they will win. I don't know what happened in 2028. The Ghanaian people will decide. But it is going to be a difficulty in trying to navigate away from the John Mahama presidency. You are going to ask people not to contest. Why shouldn't they contest? You are going to say Asiedu Ketia shouldn't contest. Asiedu Ketia is going to ask you, why shouldn't I contest? You are going to say Julius Debra shouldn't contest. Why shouldn't he contest? Callistus Mahama pens an article and say that whatever it is the John Mahama's effort that so let's all come. Nobody's going to come together anywhere. I'm going to show you videos tonight of Kwesi Pratt complaining on Good Morning Ghana that it has already started. And it's going to deepen. Whether the NDC like it or not, they're going to confront this matter. But as politicians, when we confront the matter, we always feel the urge to say, oh, let's stop that. Here is Mustapha Gbande on Onia TV making the same complaints we have heard from 50 years ago about politicians who find themselves in a situation where something is staring at them. They wish it away, but it's not going to go anywhere. Mustapha Gbande.
Mustapha, who's on call for my president?
I know. I'm going to say it. No, I'm saying it now.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the president is suffering.
if the fundamental...
No, but other than a party for no. Appointees no one say, hey, Mama, President.
He had to take the General Secretary sometimes to take the approach of summoning ministers to FEC before they come. Some ministers don't attend party meeting at all. Hey. Now they have arrived. Oh, Madam Kachero, I'm Miss Roby. There's nobody that I'm
ministers, no. Who from for party meetings?
Look, recently I had to call one minister to ask him, you sent so and so to the party. He said yes. I said, did you inform the General Secretary? I asked him, did you inform the General Secretary? Are you the manager of the party? Are you the one managing the party?
Hey,
you don't manage the party. The party has executives who manage the party. If you don't respect them, you create crisis. Because when you touch me, I will touch you. I will not assume that you have touched me and misbehaved with me, so